All right, so today, get this, we're diving into the power of your subconscious mind.
Ooh.
Right? Sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at excerpts from The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And let me tell you, this book, it really kind of gets in there. It claims we can unlock hidden potential, right? Achieve those wild dreams, even reshape our reality.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't be a little bit curious about that?
Absolutely. It's a big claim, for sure.
Hold on.
But I think what's interesting is that the book's idea, the core idea, it's not like this mystical woo-woo thing.
Right.
It's actually very practical.
Okay.
It says that your conscious mind, that's the part of you making decisions right now, and your subconscious, the one that's kind of working behind the scenes, they're in a constant communication. And mastering that communication, that's where the really cool stuff happens.
Okay, so it's not like two separate things. It's just two different levels of awareness within the same mind.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
But how much control do we really have over this whole subconscious thing?
Right.
It's not like we can just boss it around.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah. Think of it this way. Your conscious mind, that's the captain of a ship setting the course.
Okay.
Your subconscious is the engine room.
Uh-huh.
It's faithfully carrying out those commands.
Okay.
Even if you're headed straight into a storm.
Oh, I like that. So if we're just cruising through life on autopilot, right, letting the subconscious steer,
Yeah.
who knows where we'll end up?
Exactly.
We could be going to some amazing places or completely shipwrecked
Yeah.
on our own, limiting beliefs and stuff.
Exactly. And that's why understanding how to communicate with your subconscious is so important.
Totally.
It's about making sure that your conscious desires and your subconscious beliefs, they're aligned.
Right.
So the captain and the engine room, they're working together.
In perfect harmony.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the story of the opera singer, Caruso,
Oh, yeah.
it's a great example.
The stage fright one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me again how that one goes.
So Caruso, he imagined two versions of himself.
Okay.
The little me, that was his conscious mind, full of doubt.
Right.
And the big me,
Okay.
his powerful subconscious.
Gotcha.
So when stage fright would hit,
Yeah.
he would literally shout,
No way.
"Get out of here, the big me wants to sing through me." Wait, he would actually shout that backstage.
Yeah.
Wow, that's commitment. But did it work?
It did. His subconscious, the big me, responded to that.
Oh.
And he was able to perform.
Huh.
See, the subconscious, it doesn't argue.
Okay.
It doesn't judge.
Okay.
It accepts the suggestions you give it.
Right.
Especially when you repeat them or when they're emotionally charged.
So it's like our subconscious is like this incredibly powerful but kind of gullible friend
Yeah.
that believes anything we tell it.
In a way.
Yeah. Even if we're totally making it up.
Think about the last time you were stressed out. Did you notice your stomach acting up? Or maybe trouble sleeping?
Oh, for sure.
That's your subconscious responding
Yeah.
to your mental state.
Wow.
Or take the book's example of the seasickness suggestion, right?
Oh, so you tell a seasoned sailor, "Hey, you're looking a little green."
Yeah.
They'll probably laugh it off.
Yeah.
But you whisper that same thing to someone on their first cruise.
Oh, totally different reaction.
Right.
They're rooting for the Dramamine.
Exactly. Same suggestion, different outcomes based on their beliefs.
Yeah.
The sailor, they associate seasickness with, resilience. While the anxious passenger, they link it to fear, past experiences, things like that.
Oh, wow.
Their subconscious minds are primed to respond accordingly.
That makes sense, but it also makes that story about the man who died because a fortune teller told him he would, even creepier.
Yeah.
You know that story.
Oh, yeah, that's a chilling example of the power of suggestion,
It's
even
just
if the source is, dubious.
Questionable.
He took her word as truth.
Right.
And sadly,
Yeah.
he manifested that reality.
So we're talking about more than just positive thinking here.
Right.
This is understanding that our subconscious is always listening. It's always absorbing what we're thinking and what we believe.
Yeah.
And then it's shaping our reality
Exactly.
based on that.
That's why the book really stresses how important it is to pay attention to your self-talk.
Oh, interesting.
What are you saying to yourself?
Yeah.
Are you affirming what you want?
Okay.
Or are you, without realizing it, reinforcing your fears?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about making the choice to believe in things that empower you,
Right.
not limit you.
So instead of saying, I'm terrible with money,
Right.
maybe try something like, I'm attracting abundance, even if it feels a little weird at first.
Right, because you're changing your words, and that shifts your subconscious programming.
Interesting.
It's not about pretending your current reality isn't real.
Okay.
It's about kind of planting those seeds for the reality that you want to create.
It's like we're all gardeners, but like for our own minds, right?
Yeah.
And what we choose to plant in there, whether it's fear or faith, it's going to determine what grows.
I love that.
This whole idea that what we believe can actually influence what happens, reality.
Yeah.
It makes you think about things like miracles and the placebo effect totally differently, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, some people might call it mind over matter.
Right.
But there's something really fascinating happening there.
What's that?
Your subconscious mind is responding to what you believe is true.
So whether it's like a lucky charm, a doctor's reassurance,
Yeah.
or even if you just think you took your medicine.
If you believe it, your subconscious might just make it happen.
Really?
It's the belief that's key.
Wow.
There's this great example in the book about a surgeon in India.
Okay.
He was practicing before, modern sterilization techniques were a thing,
Right.
but his patients, they had incredibly low infection rates.
That's incredible, especially back then.
Right.
What was his secret?
So under hypnosis, he would tell his patients very confidently that they would heal quickly and cleanly.
Okay.
And they did.
Wow. So he wasn't just operating on their bodies.
Right.
He was like working on their beliefs at the same time.
Exactly.
Their subconscious expectations about healing.
Yeah, it shows just how strong our beliefs can be, even the unspoken ones.
Huh.
Have you ever felt better just thinking you took a pill?
Oh, totally. Like the placebo effect.
Exactly.
But this shows that even just the suggestion of healing, it can have a real impact.
It really can.
And if I'm following you, the book is saying that this power, it's not just for health.
No, not at all.
It can be applied to anything.
anything.
Wealth, relationships,
Yeah.
even finding your dream home, all of it.
Absolutely. The book goes really deep into how this power of belief
Wow.
can influence every single area of our lives. And it claims that we can really boost these efforts by using a very specific time: sleep.
Ooh, okay, this is getting interesting.
Right.
So we're not just talking about getting enough sleep, we're talking about using it strategically
Exactly.
to like reprogram our minds.
Exactly. Think about it. When you're asleep, your conscious mind, it takes a break.
Okay.
It's not as critical. It's less resistant to new ideas.
Yeah,
And who's in charge then?
the subconscious.
Exactly. Ready to absorb everything you give it.
So it's like those subliminal message tapes people used to listen to while they were sleeping.
Well, not quite that far,
Okay.
but the principle's similar.
Yeah.
It's about making a choice about what you want to impress upon your subconscious before you drift off.
Okay.
One that really got me was about this guy who was drowning in debt.
Oh, been there.
Totally felt hopeless about his finances.
So how to use sleep to fix it?
Every night, right before sleep, he would repeat this phrase: "Thank you, Father, for my wealth."
Wait, thank you for my wealth.
I know, right?
But he was
That's what's so fascinating about the subconscious.
What's that?
It doesn't know the difference between what's real in the world and what's real in your head.
Mm.
So by constantly giving thanks for wealth, even though he didn't have it,
Right.
he was retraining his subconscious to believe in abundance.
So fake it till you make it, but like on a deeper level.
Exactly.
Did it work?
He kept at it night after night.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, his money situation started changing.
No way. What happened?
He bumped into an old boss who offered him an amazing job,
Wow.
which led to even better opportunities.
Ow!
He ended up owning his own business.
Okay, that's pretty amazing.
It is.
But was it really just the sleep technique, or was there something more going on?
That's a really good question. And the book says that aligning your actions with your subconscious desires is key.
Okay.
Just whispering affirmations at night isn't enough if you spend all day stressing about money.
Right, right.
You've got to make choices based on abundance, not scarcity.
So it's like you're changing your mind while you sleep, but you're also making different choices when you're awake.
Yeah, you're giving your subconscious a whole new story.
What you're thinking and how you're acting, they've got to match.
You got it.
Interesting.
It's about consistency, creating a mental and emotional space that fits your goals.
Right.
If you're telling your subconscious one thing but doing the opposite, mixed signals.
Totally. It's like being the director of your own movie. Right?
Yeah.
Got to make sure the actors, the sets, the costumes, they all match the story you're trying to tell.
I love that.
Okay, so this sleep technique, it makes sense for money, but what if it's more complicated than that? Like a tough family thing or a legal battle?
The book talks about that too.
It does.
Yeah, it talks about this woman who was going through a really nasty family lawsuit.
Ugh, those are the worst.
She found peace by repeating a phrase every night, like a mental lullaby.
Oh, right. It is finished in divine order, right? What I loved about her story is that she wasn't trying to force a specific outcome.
Exactly.
It was more about surrendering to something bigger, trusting that the right thing would happen.
You got it. That's a perfect example of letting go of control and letting the subconscious do its thing.
Yeah.
It's not about micromanaging, it's about setting an intention and then trusting the process.
Like planting a seed and trusting it'll grow even though you can't see it happening underground.
Precisely. And that trust is so important because if you're always doubting, worrying, trying to force things,
Right.
you're just messing with the natural flow.
So it's about having faith in the power of our own minds.
Exactly.
Just like we have faith in anything else.
It's about recognizing that we have this amazing power inside us,
Yeah.
capable of incredible things if we can just learn to trust it.
This is making me think about dreams.
Yeah.
Do you think dreams are our subconscious trying to tell us something?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
And while the book does touch on interpreting dreams,
Okay.
it focuses more on actively shaping those subconscious beliefs.
So less dream decoding, more dream directing.
Exactly. It's about being proactive with our subconscious, not just waiting to see what comes up.
I like that.
So we talked about affirmations, mental movies. What else can we do to make the most of sleep?
Yeah. What else is there?
The book talks a lot about creating a calm, peaceful sleep environment.
Okay.
Avoid watching the news or having arguments right before bed.
Oh, good advice in general.
Instead, maybe try some calming music or read something uplifting.
Okay.
Or just think about things you're grateful for.
So it's like setting the stage, right?
Exactly.
Creating a peaceful space for your mind to rest and recharge.
Yeah,
This is making me rethink my entire nighttime routine.
I love it.
Seriously?
Because sleep, it's not just physical rest.
Yeah.
It's a chance for deep mental and emotional transformation.
This deep dive is really opening my eyes to the power of sleep.
It's pretty amazing, right?
But as cool as all this is, it makes you wonder, if we can influence ourselves without realizing it, what about other people?
Oh, interesting.
Can our subconscious minds affect our relationships? Can they help us deal with negativity from others?
I love where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, how our subconscious minds, they don't just shape us.
Right.
They might actually affect our relationships with others too.
Exactly.
It's kind of wild to think about, Like we're subconsciously attracting certain kinds of people
Yeah.
or even conflicts into our lives.
It's a lot, right?
It feels kind of heavy, honestly.
It can.
Like, where do we even start to change those patterns?
That's what's so cool about this book. It actually offers some techniques.
Okay, what kind of techniques?
One that really clicked for me is mental rehearsal.
Mental rehearsal, what's that?
Imagine you've got this tough conversation coming up
Okay.
before you actually have it.
Yeah.
Visualize it going well.
So it's like back to those mental movies. But this time, we're scripting in other people.
Exactly. Picture yourself calm, cool, collected,
Okay.
responding with confidence, even compassion. Right. See the other person being totally receptive.
Huh,
And
interesting.
you run this mental scenario over and over.
Right.
You're basically prepping your subconscious to react differently.
So it's like you're swapping out the old automatic reactions for something more intentional.
Exactly. Because remember, your subconscious, it's not going to argue with you. It
Yeah.
sees what you show it, it believes it, and then boom, it acts.
Wow, okay. That's powerful stuff.
It is. And there's another big technique the book emphasizes.
What?
Cultivating empathy, even when it's hard.
Empathy, huh? So like not trying to win every argument.
Right.
Not about being right all the time.
Yeah.
It's more about stepping into the other person's shoes, trying to see things from their side.
You got it. We never really know what someone else is dealing with,
That's true.
what kind of battles they're fighting.
Right.
But if we approach them, or even tough situations, with more empathy,
Yeah.
it helps us rewire our subconscious to be more understanding.
Instead of going straight to defensiveness.
Exactly.
It's like that saying, be kind, everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. But how do we actually do that?
Yeah,
When someone's really pushing our buttons?
good question.
It's easy to say, be empathetic, but it's a lot harder to actually do it when you're feeling attacked.
Absolutely. That's where the real work comes in. And that's what the book is all about, It reminds us
Yeah.
we can't control what other people do, but we can control how we react.
True.
It takes practice.
Yeah, for sure.
But every time you choose empathy over anger,
Right.
understanding instead of judgment, you're training your subconscious to respond differently.
Oh, I see. It's like building up a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
This reminds me of that story about the newspaper man,
Oh, yeah.
the one who was totally hooked on outrage.
Yeah.
It was affecting everything in his life, his health, his relationships, everything.
It's a classic example of how holding on to negativity can really mess with your life.
Right. And the thing is, it wasn't even the news itself. It was how he reacted to it.
Exactly.
He was letting all that negativity control him.
And that's exhausting. He was giving away his power.
It's so easy to do, though, right?
It is.
Get sucked in.
But he realized he had a choice.
Okay.
He could keep getting pulled down by all the negativity,
Right.
or he could consciously choose to focus on something different.
Oh, interesting.
So he started looking for the good stuff, the hopeful stuff, the inspiring things, and he found it.
So he wasn't pretending the problems didn't exist.
No, not at all.
He was just choosing where to focus his energy.
Precisely. It's about being proactive with your mental diet, you know? What are you feeding your mind?
Are you planting seeds of hope or seeds of despair?
It matters.
It's like my grandma's garden. She always said, tend to your flowers, not your weeds.
I love that. What a perfect analogy.
She wasn't saying to ignore the weeds,
Right?
just that your energy is better spent taking care of the good stuff,
Exactly.
nurturing the things that bring you joy.
And that's really what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
We have so much power to choose what we focus on, what we let take root in our minds.
This whole deep dive has been incredible. I feel like we've gone from subconscious, what's that,
Yeah.
to, okay, we've got this.
That's the best part. Once you understand how your subconscious works, you can team up with it.
And create the life you want.
Exactly. Even with all the negativity out there.
Well said, well said. And to our listeners, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, is that you are not just along for the ride. You know, you're in the driver's seat.
You have the power.
You can choose your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions,
It all matters.
and all of those things, they shape your reality.
This book, it gives us the tool.
Yeah, the power of the subconscious mind.
Powerful stuff.
But it's up to us to actually use them.
Absolutely. Got to put in the work.
Tend to our own mental gardens, you know,
Yeah.
and create a life that feels real and true and fulfilling.
That's the dream, right?
It really is. Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive, everyone. Until next time, remember, you've got the power.